Hello everyone, welcome to my class St. Joseph's tutorial. We started active and passive voice and we discussed in detail how to convert active to passive form, its rules and regulations, that all we have seen in the first part. And in the previous session we discussed in detail about simple present and present progressive. In today's class we are going to see about present perfect and simple past tense. Here we know that what is present perfect structure. Subject will be there. So when we are framing present perfect tense, we have to use subject, then have form. Either we can use has and have, that is according to the subject that we take, plus third form of verb, that is past participle. Example, were gone, written, ridden, etc. First form write, second form wrote, and third form is written. So for present perfect we have to follow this structure. Especially this structure is followed in the active voice. The same thing, present perfect structure, when we want to make this active to passive, then we have to follow below the structure, that is object, then has or have, plus been, plus third form of verb, then followed by the preposition, that is by, plus subject. That is the structure for passive voice. Now we will see what are the examples for present perfect tense active voice positive. Here, first sentence, he has eaten a loaf of bread. Second sentence, he has played cricket. Third one, he has taken tea. Fourth one, they have worn a cricket kit. Sixth one, we have plucked the flowers yesterday. See the structure here. Subject we have used, and of course next we have used a have form, that is have, and has, that is according to the subject that we have used, plus third form, that is V3 used, then object. Why do we use has? Why can't we use have in the first sentence? As we all studied that if we find the third person subject singular, then we have to take has in present perfect tense. So now how to convert this present perfect active to passive form? As we all know that the object we need to identify. What is the object here? Loaf of bread. Here a loaf of bread is the object. Then object is singular or plural. We have to go through it. See that is a singular. Then after that what we have to use? That is a loaf of bread. Then we have to use have form, that is has. Why do we use has? Because here we need to use only has since we find the object is singular. In place of that object, if we find plural, then we have to use have in place of has. Since we are having object singular, so we have to use has. So answer is that a loaf of bread has been eaten by him. Whether we have to follow the structure here, whether we follow the structure or not. Yes, object of the active voice become the subject that we have used, then has that used, then been, then third form of the verb followed by, then we have used the subjective pronoun becomes the objective pronoun. Second sentence, cricket has been played by him. See here, he has played cricket. Then how to convert this one? Cricket has been played by him. Cricket, actually we are talking about a singular game, so we have to take only has, after that followed by been, then third form of the verb, that is play, that is played, followed by the preposition, that is by, then subjective pronoun he becomes him in the present perfect passive form. Then you see the tea has been taken by him. That means what here? He has taken a tea. How do we convert here? A tea has been taken by him. And next one you see that a cricket kit. That means we are talking about a single cricket kit. So we have to take have form, that is has, then followed by the been, then third form where what is that? Where, wore, then own, followed by the preposition, that is by, then followed by the subjective pronoun becomes the object, that is they becomes them in the fourth sentence. Then fifth sentence you see here, we have plucked the flowers yesterday. See that here the flowers, we are talking about more than 2 or 3 flowers. So we have to take the have form, that is have only we have to take. If you are finding that object is plural, then we have to take have. So the flowers then have been plucked by us yesterday. See here, in place of flowers, if you find a flower, then we have to use only has. This is the example for present perfect positive tense active then passive. Then present perfect tense active negative. We know that how to frame this present perfect negative. First we have to use the subject followed by have form. Either you can use have and has, then not or never, then third form of the verb, then object. That is the structure for present perfect tense negative. Then we have not done our homework. See your subject, then have form, then not or never, done our homework. Then he has not eaten. After the have form, we have to take not or never to make it as negative. Then she has. After that, we have to use not. So structure is that subject have or has plus not plus V3 plus object. That is the structure for present perfect negative tense. How to convert this following sentence to passive form? Just you see that the hockey match has been won by them. The sentence first one is that they have not won the hockey match. So here the hockey match is the object in the active voice that has to become the subject in the passive voice, followed by has, then not, then been, then V3, that is won, followed by plus them. Then our homework has not been done by us. Just we'll see that what will be the structure for this present perfect tense negative passive voice. First we have to use object plus has or have plus not plus been plus V3 followed by the preposition by plus the subjective pronoun becomes object. That is objective pronoun that should be used. Our homework has not been done by us. We becomes us here. Then a loaf of bread has not been eaten by him. Third sentence that I have not used not. After has we have to use not. Then her room has not been cleaned by her. See the fourth sentence here. She has not cleaned her room. Here her cleaned room. Just we are talking about singular room, so that I have used has. Her room has not been cleaned by her. Then how to convert this present perfect tense to interrogative? As we all studied while we were discussing about tenses in your classes, that you know how to frame present perfect interrogative sentence, right? Have you learned a lesson? Just will you see the sentences? Has he eaten a bread? Has my mother washed the clothes? Has father given money to his daughter? See the first one. Have you learned a lesson? Then what will be the structure for present perfect interrogative? See here, first we have to use a have or has plus subject plus V3 then object. Since we are talking about interrogative, then we have to use the punctuation mark, that is question mark, at the end of the sentence. Second one, has he eaten a bread? With first sentence and second sentence, that we could notice a difference, that first sentence we started the sentence by using have, but in the second sentence that we used has. Why? What are the changes that we could see, or why we have to use only have in the first sentence? Why can't we use in the second sentence? Of course, if you are finding the third person singular, he or she or it or a child or a student or an engineer, then you can use that has an engineer constructed a building, has a teacher taught you, right? Has your mother cooked? So if you're talking about singular, then you have to use only has, except the first person singular, that is I. Have you learnt a lesson? Has my mother washed the clothes? Has father given money to his daughter? How to convert this present perfect interrogative to passive form? Let us see that. See here, first we have to use has or have form, that is has and have, followed by, then we have to use been, then third person, that is third form of the verb, that is independent verb must be the third form V3 followed by plus object. Once again you see that first we have to use subject plus we have to use object followed by been, then third form, then by, then objective pronoun. That subjective pronoun becomes the objective pronoun. Has lesson been learnt by you? Has a bread been eaten by him? Have the clothes been washed by my mother? Has money been given to his daughter by father? Just you look at here. Have you learned a lesson? Here first word we have to use has lesson, then been, then V3 followed by the preposition that is by, then you. Then at the end we need to use the question mark. We all have been noticing that I did not change the tenses. What I am changing here? Just I am changing only the pronoun I am changing. At the same time I am changing the verb forms. That's all. I am not changing the tense. As we are all aware of it that whenever we are talking about active voice and passive voice, then there is no change in the tense. Tense remains unchanged. It's very important. We need to keep in our mind. Then, how to frame WH question? Let us see. They have given the structure here. First, we have to use WH word. Then, have verb, that is have or has according to the subject we use. Then, main verb, that is independent verb, must be in the third form. Then the object. At the end we need to use the question mark. Then how to convert this WH questions to passive form? First we have to use by, then the WH word, then have form either has or have, plus object of the active voice, plus been, plus verb, that is V3 must be used. At the end we have to use question mark. Let us see two sentences that I have given as examples here. WH in present perfect active voice. This is the structure. This is the question, or this is the question for present perfect. Who has broken the glass? Second one is who have submitted the project. So first one we are talking about glass singular. So that I have used only has. Second sentence that we are talking about, the subject is plural, so we are using have. That is the difference. Then how to frame this one, how to make or how to convert this WH present perfect to passive perfect, right? Let us see. First we have to use by whom has the glass been broken. Let us see the structure. See the structure here. By whom, next has, then glass been broken by him or them. So that's what we have used. Then second sentence, by whom has the project been submitted? See here, second sentence what we have used here, has. We are talking about this project. The object is singular, so I have used only has. In place of project, if we find projects, then we have to use by whom have the projects been submitted. But here we cannot use, since we are talking about the object is singular, that is a project. So we need not to use have. Let us move on to the next one and keep on our mind that in present perfect continuous tense and past perfect continuous tense, future continuous and future perfect continuous, there is no passive form. So only 8 sentences that we can make into passive form. Remaining 4 we cannot make. Already I listed out those sentences we cannot make it passive form. Next we will move on to the past tense. Past simple formula. Let us see what is the structure for simple past. First active voice structure is that we studied subject, that is doer of an action or an agent or performer of an action, plus V2, that is past form, then object. That is the structure for simple past tense, and of course it is the structure for active too. Then what will be the structure for passive form? Object has to come first, followed by was, that is be form, past form, was or were. We know that where we are using was and were. If you are finding object is singular, use was. If you are finding object is plural, use it were. Plus third form of the verb, plus by, plus subject. This is the structure for passive voice. Let us see here past simple positive tense. He ate bread, he played cricket, they wore a cricket kit, we plucked the flowers yesterday. See here, subject plus V2 plus object. Here object is singular. Let me make it as passive form. Bread was eaten by, he becomes him. You may be asking that why do you use was? Why don't you use were? Because the object is singular. I cannot use were. At the same time, you may ask why do you use instead of was? Why can't you use is? We cannot use because we are talking about past tense. Then second sentence, he played cricket. Here object is cricket, played is the verb, then he is the doer of an action. So object has to come first in the passive form, cricket, followed by the auxiliary form, that is be form, was or were. Since we are talking about one game, so we have to use only was. Cricket was, then played, followed by the preposition, that is by, then he becomes him. So cricket was played by him. Third sentence, they wore a cricket kit. Here also the object is singular. A cricket kit was worn by, the they becomes them in the passive form. Fourth sentence, we plucked the flowers yesterday. Then what will be coming here? The flowers were plucked by us yesterday. Why do I use were? Because you're talking about the object, that is the flowers, plural. So I have to use only were. I should not use was over here. So this is the example for past simple positive. See that example, just answers. You can see that the bread was eaten by him. Second sentence, cricket was played by him. A cricket kit was owned by them. Then the flowers were plucked by us yesterday. So already we have seen in the previous slide. Next one, simple past negative. So what is the structure for simple positive negative? First we have to use subject plus did not plus V1, that is base form, then object. Probably most of the time that we commit errors by adding V2 after the did not. It is totally wrong. First we have to use subject plus did not plus V1 only have to take, should not take V2 or V3. That is not at all correct. Here A did not eat bread, then A did not play cricket, they did not wear a cricket kit, we did not pluck the flowers daily. Just you see that these are all the negative sentences, or you can use never also. He never ate bread. Then how to frame or how to convert this simple past negative to passive negative? Let us see here. First we have to use the object. Yes, object, I have taken the bread, followed by was, because the object is singular, so that I have taken was. The bread was. Immediately after the be form, just you add the negative word, that is not. After that use V3 followed by the preposition, that is by, then subjective pronoun becomes the objective pronoun. So the bread was eaten by him. Here what are the changes here? Was I used, and of course him I used because he becomes him. In that active voice we see that him becomes he, but in the passive voice he becomes him. Then was I used because the object is only one. Then cricket was not played by him. Here also first object I used, then the be form, then not, that is negative word, then V3 followed by this preposition, that is by, then subjective pronoun becomes objective pronoun, that is he becomes him, that I used. Same third sentence also here, same. Fourth sentence, you see there is a difference. What is the difference here? That is I have used be form plural past. Why? Because here the object is plural, so I have taken the be form past form plural verb. The flowers were not plucked by us daily. I hope that you are understanding little bit, how to convert and what are the rules that we have to follow while we framing or constructing active to passive form. Keep on touch, keep on focus. Just you give your focus, definitely you will be learning. Next one, simple past interrogative. Interrogative means questions, that's all. Did he eat bread? Here also most of the people commit errors while they frame simple past interrogative. What will be the error? Did he eat bread? They'll ask. Or did he play cricket? It is wrong in English. First we have to, because did already is in the past form, hence we need not to use that independent verb or the main verb past form. Did first we have to use plus subject plus V1 plus object plus question mark. Whenever you are finding interrogative, make sure that you are supposed to use that punctuation mark, that is question mark. Did he eat bread? Did he play cricket? Did they wear a cricket kit? Did we plug the flowers daily? So these are the sentences are given. Let us make how to convert this one to interrogative. How to convert this one to passive form. Did he eat bread? Here see that was bread. First we have to use was, or we can use were, that is according to the object. Was bread, V3 followed by then him. Then was cricket played by him. Here our structure is that first we have to use objective pronoun plus be form was or were plus object plus V3 plus by plus subjective pronoun becomes objective, that is subject, then question mark. Was cricket played by him? Was a cricket kit worn by them? Then were the flowers. Fourth sentence you can find the difference, that is were, because the object is plural, so I have taken were. Were the flowers plucked by us daily? The structure keep in your mind for simple past interrogative passive voice, that is first we have to use be form past form, that is was or were, plus object plus V3 plus by plus object, subjective pronoun becomes objective pronoun. At the end we have to give question mark. So this is the example for simple past interrogative. Now we will see that how to frame simple past WH questions. We know that there are two types of questions already we have seen, that is yes or no questions by using auxiliary form. Another one is that WH questions like what's your name, where are you, where did you go, what do you want, etc. we can use in the WH questions. I have given 4 sentences as examples for WH in simple past alone. Who discovered America? Second question, who led the Red Army? Third one, who wrote the letters? And fourth one, who cooked delicious food? Here, let us keep one structure in our mind for WH simple past. First, we will keep that WH word plus V2 plus object plus question mark. WH word, then V2 plus object plus question mark for WH question simple past. Let us see this one in the passive form. So whenever you are finding WH word, first we have to take the preposition, that is by has to be used in the first. So by whom was America discovered? First what we have to use, by whom America was discovered. We are talking about only one country, so that we have used only was. If I use America and England, then we can use that by whom were America, England and India discovered. Here we are talking about only one country, so I have to use only was. Second one, by whom was the Red Army led? Here also, if I say Red Army or Indian Army or whatever it may be, if I use 2 or 3, then I have to use after whom, then I have to use were. But here we are talking about only one army, that is Red Army, hence we have to use that be form, past form, that is was alone. Third one, by whom were the letters written? See here, the first and second and third I have used was, but in the third sentence I used were, that is plural, because the object, that is the letters, we are not talking about a letter, we are talking about 2 or 3 or 4 letters, hence I have taken were. So by whom were the letters written? Fourth sentence we are talking about food, so I have to take only was. So first what we need to identify in the simple past and then present perfect tense. First we need to identify the tense, then we have to follow the structure, we have to identify the subject, object, then verb, we need to identify subjective pronoun. These all things must be known to us while we are converting from active to passive voice. This is very easy concept. already we have been seeing the tenses, from negative, positive, interrogative, WH questions. So definitely it will be helpful for you to know more about active and passive voice. Just what you have to do during your free time, just you practice it. And if you have any doubts, if you find any doubts, please let me know it. Just you can put your comments in the comment box. Let us see in the next session. I hope that you have I'm quite sure that you learnt at least 30% amount of knowledge about active voice and passive voice. So with this satisfaction, let me end up this session, and I'll meet you soon in the next session. Thank you all. Have a good day.